BTK becomes the brand, but he does not get the credit for the truly brilliant, sadistic serial killer that he was. I mean, this guy was doing dry runs before he went into a home.
He has his alibis already set up.
He would lie to get his victims to submit, and then when they were already incapacitated, he'd be like, I'm the BTK killer. 40 years, he is never a suspect. This is where it starts to get juicy. Today, we are going to be talking about, by popular demand, I will say, because I've gotten this request more than any other person in the comments. We're going to be talking about the one and only Dennis Rader, the BTK story.
The first round, by the way, I mentioned BTK. And you were like, we're not going to do that one. Let's put that one aside. We don't want to do that one. So I'd watched probably 4 or 5 episodes on it already when then this time you said, we got to do BTK. And I was like, I'm already up on BTK.
Yeah, we got to get those numbers cooking again. We got to listen to the fans. Hey, there are customers and we have to start listening to the customers.
Yes.
Right? And the customer is always right. And the customers,
always
and right. A lot of our customers are not happy with me.
No, I do love, when I feel down, I like to read the comments. I'm like, I'll be in bed with Jets with my wife. I'm like, they hate this guy. Oh, it's great. Listen to what they said about me. They love me. They hate him.
It's so, and when I want to feel up about myself, I read those because unlike you, I get a laugh out of these comments. There's a lot of people living where I'm living rent free in their head, and I appreciate it. Keep it coming. Dennis Rader. Look, I don't want to call him the Steve Jobs. You know, I'm trying to be a little more serious about this.
Sensitive to the subject matter.
Right. Too soon. Okay. But he truly is a pioneer and does not get his flowers. Matt, I'm not saying it's right, but he does not get the credit for the truly kind of brilliant, sadistic serial killer that he was.
What's funny is that there were numerous times when he felt that way. Like, you don't feel that way. He felt, that's what's so funny. Right. He actually, multiple times, someone else would get blamed for his crime, or they would, remember this guy came in and took credit for one of the murders, and he was furious, so he wrote a letter, got him, that's when he wrote the letters, and
it's the reason he got caught.
Right, and then they had then later on, at some point, which we'll get into, is that they kind of did a 10th anniversary or 20th anniversary on some Unsolved 30th that he had done, and he was upset because somebody was talking about writing a book, and he was like, oh hell no, if anybody's writing a book, I need to be a part of writing that book.
And that's what led to his undoing,
right? Which
we'll get into. Ego is, can you think of, Jack the Ripper had a lot of ego, right? He was taunting, teasing, writing in to the London newspaper.
Oh yeah, he's mailing in he mailed in some pieces, right?
But what's so interesting about the ego of these psychopaths, these serial killers, is that addiction to power. So not only is it before they kill their victims, they're physically torturing them, they like torturing their communities. So Dennis Rader was part of this small town Wichita community,
right?
And it was like he was toying with them for 40 years before he finally got caught. And it's that kind of, it's the control that they're addicted to, almost more than the actual, pleasure of killing. So I found that fascinating.
Yeah, and you mentioned this earlier. We were talking about his childhood, where you were calling him a kind of an outlier, right? Like he wasn't beaten. He didn't have a horrible upbringing. He wasn't, he wasn't like there's none of the things that typical serial killers go through that help kind of cultivate them and turn them into serial killers. Not that they're not already predisposed to violence, but there's sometimes things happen in their childhoods that push them over the edge. And had they not happened, maybe they wouldn't have. Maybe they would have. Whatever. In his case, multiple psychiatrists and psychologists, because I watched a bunch of docs, were saying the same thing, that they were like, this guy had like an ideal upbringing. And they talked to a bunch of his friends. Friends were the same way. They were like, there was nothing exceptional about him, but they were like, he was a decent baseball player. He was decent at everything. They said he was kind of just always there. But there was the one thing where one of his childhood friends said in, 2020's hindsight, of course, that they said like he would catch like small animals that you would like as a kid if you were to kill a frog or something like that, that he would actually take his time and string them up and kind of torture them a little bit.
But if you talk to any kid from the ghetto, from West Baltimore, they're like, yeah, I lit a cat on fire. That's common in many dispossessed communities. Not that Rader grew up in a dispossessed community, but times were different back in the 50s.
There's always those kids that are assholes that will take a hammer and hit a fucking kitten or something, right? There's always that. There's always some douchebag kid that thinks it's cool. But I always think that there's got to be something going on in their household that make them lash out like that. And even to Rader and his family, to everybody, was like there was nothing.
He was blah. He was just your run of the mill Midwest guy.
Well, so
truly born that way. Like how like transgender people. Many of them now, many of the young transgenders just do it because it's a fad.
Right.
Because they have mental illness, because they have whatever, their friends are doing it. They're rebelling against their parents. It's kind of
want to belong to something.
Right. But then those old school trannies. I'm talking about the ones that like your dad knows where you're like, yeah, okay, my friend Martha used to be my buddy Steve, right? Like old school.
Yeah.
They're
serious.
They're born like that.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers, Dennis Rader was born like that. He was born this way.
So
accept me as I am.
So I don't even know where we are on the outline. But I did want
Dennis Rader, March 9th, 1945, born in Pittsburgh, Kansas. He was raised primarily in Wichita. And yeah, I can't see anything in what I dug up to convince me that there was like a watershed moment of abuse, bullied, whatever.
Well, what I was going to mention was at one point, Rader actually says this during one of his interviews where he said the first time he realized that, hey, maybe something's not right. And I think his family had mentioned it before, where his mother had reached, I want to say underneath the couch, and her ring got caught on a spring. And so as a result of that, the spring's through the ring, like now it's super tight, and she's caught underneath the couch and can't remove her hand. And so she's struggling and she screams for him to go get his father and to help. And he said that's the first time he remembered she was in pain. She was screaming for help. She was helpless. And he said he got sexually aroused. That was like the first time. So, but once again, that was already there, right? Like there's nothing that predated that could have contributed to it. It's just he realized that something's not right at this situation. There was something else where he was being tied up when they were playing like Cowboys and Indians when he was a kid. He really enjoyed tying people up, and he really enjoyed being tied up.
Right, this guy's a freak.
Right, he's a weirdo from an early age. Once again, not as a result of anything like his family did. And I always wonder about that too, by the way, because I'm sure you've interviewed tons of these guys, right? You've tons of criminals, right? Like lots of people have horrible upbringings or something in their past that's not great. Something that could be traumatic. And so I always wonder, like, when we always go based on the FBI coming up with this stereotype, this is the stereotypical serial killer. Like, but maybe if they're just wrong, maybe it just was coincidence that a lot of these people had these issues, because lots of people have these issues.
I believe in evil. I believe in Satan. And that's one of the things when you go back to religion, like Christianity, you see, this is just a battle of good and evil. That's our universe. There's a palpable evil in the world right now on a macro level. But on a micro level, I do believe, call me a kook, right? That people can just be born with that infection. And I think it's rare. Right. I think nurture is mostly responsible for people's antisocial behavior. Like when you've been in prison for many years, most people, even people that are there for murders, if they they either made a mistake or they had a terrible environment, right? There's only a small percentage that you're like, oh, you are incorrigible.
Yeah,
you need to be here, and there's no help.
You're just a sadistic.
You're going to get exactly.
Get-go.
So, but that's Rader, right? And he talks about that. He talks about. I don't want to get too far ahead here, but he describes that he felt that he was two people.
Oh,
he was committing murders.
The Minotaur.
That's right.
And I was going to say the let's call them demons. Now that he's incarcerated, I don't know if this is in the outline of we'll get to it, but I'm just going to mention it real quick. He's had a few phone interviews where he has mentioned that he's possessed by two demons. This is all stuff that's like came out after. He's possessed by two demons. I do know that one of the demons he had referred to as, I want to say the Minotaur. I may be saying it wrong. It might not be the Minotaur. Some kind of bull or something. Anyway, the point is that but now he's saying like there's two demons that he's possessed by. It's funny. Like, does he believe this is true? Is it true? Or is it something he's coming up with?
Right.
I don't know, but let's
right. Did he read the Da Vinci Code and ghosts and the follow up to the Da Vinci Code, ghosts and demons? And he said, hey, I'm gonna I don't know. Probably. I think, he talks about before when he decided to pick a victim, it was a young woman. He was driving by in his neighborhood and she was out like watering the lawn or something. And he saw two hands reach out, two dark hands reach out and grab her by the throat. This is what he saw. And that's when he decided, okay, I'm going to kill her. So, you know that moment when you text your team, hey guys, did anyone follow up with that guy? And then you get nothing back. And 2 hours later, one thumbs up emoji. Yeah, that's me every day with my producers. Meanwhile, the customer already moved on, got married, started a business. At some point, you're like, let's frickin' Quo. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, Q-U-O, the business phone system built so you never miss a call. All your calls, texts, and voicemails live in one place, so anyone on your team can jump into a conversation, see the full history, and respond fast. Quo is the #1 rated business phone system on G2, trusted by over 90,000 businesses to stay reachable and look professional every day. Money is on the line, so say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to quo.com/murdermen. Once again, that's QUO.com/murdermen. The guy he's smart, but he's not a genius. So I tend to believe him when he talks about this stuff. I don't think he wanted to be this way. I think he'd rather be, a family man and a leader of his church, which he was.
He was. He was all of those things. I don't think his daughter, I think, has some very nice things to say about her. She wrote a book.
There you go. BTK serial killer Dennis Rader did not name specific theological demons. He referred to an internal unnamed presence he called Factor X, or sometimes Rex. He gave it a name, which he described as a dark alter ego or demon within that took control during his murders. He goes off to the Air Force. He spends his whole life in Wichita, except for 4 years when he was off overseas in the U.S. Air Force. Comes back and gets married to Paula Dietz in 1971, and they have 2 kids.
Love of his life, by the way.
Yes.
His parents, his Christian mother and her friend introduced them.
At the church.
Yeah.
Imagine there was a time where that happened in America.
It's wholesome.
What a wholesome time.
Meet this guy. He's a future serial killer. He's a good provider, and he will be great with the kids.
Imagine.
Mom, can we go back to serial killer for a second? Sweetie, everybody's got a hobby.
Imagine being the Dietz family.
Your father loves miniature trains. He's got that whole collection. Don't focus on the serial killer part.
Oh my God, dude. Don't let your mother-in-law, don't let some lady at the church introduce you to their son. Thanks, Mrs. Rader.
In retrospect, could you imagine being a fly in the room, sitting there watching? Hi, Mrs. Rader. Hi.
Not only do you
introduce you to my son, and you're like,
Not only do you have a demon birthing, you're fucking, you insist on introducing nice church-going people to your fucking Satan of a son.
Listen, they were married up till he got arrested.
I know.
Apparently had a very good relationship.
No, he didn't cheat on her. I mean, this guy, it was full.
You're right. Oh, no, he didn't. You know, he never penetrated one of these victims.
He just masturbated.
Right. He specifically said, look at Colby. He's like, interesting. Specifically
You can do
because
that?
he said that would have been too far. Not tying him up, not strangling him, but that's infidelity.
Honey, I swear, yes, I tied her up and hung her in the basement by a pipe, but I did not. And yes, I jacked off next to her. I did not sleep with her.
And she,
Okay.
Okay. Little marriage counseling. We can work through this.
We got strong. It'll make us stronger.
Okay, come on. But come on, laugh about this.
Dude,
come on,
man.
People like me.
All right.
Anyway, let's go. Come on. He got out. He met her. They get married. 2 kids.
No, his life truly was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because he had kids who he didn't. He had a wife he didn't cheat on. He was a deacon. He wasn't a full deacon, but he was like part of the administration at his church. Okay.
I said initially, and that was initially at towards the end when they arrest him, he's like the president of the church. I didn't know they had presidents.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. They get the board of, because they're just money makers, most churches. And he's a Boy Scout leader, which by the way, I love how back in the 70s, if you told somebody you were like a Boy Scout leader, you were like above reproach.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way he could be killing or arresting kids. He just goes up into the woods where nobody can hear them. And nowadays, if you told somebody, you're like, oh, no, I'm innocent. I'm a Boy Scout leader. They're like, oh, we're taking you straight to jail. Right? That's Boy Scouts.
Little Billy can spend the night. I'm a Boy Scout leader.
Yeah.
Billy, hold on.
This 11-year-old can spend the night at my house. I'm a Boy Scout leader, dude.
No.
So he, very ironically, earned a degree in criminal justice from Wichita State University in 1979.
Wanted to be a police officer.
And this is after he's committed his first string of slayings.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, wait, what's the first one?
In the 73. He got a job in the aerospace industry because that's like the big industry in Wichita, Kansas. I remember that. He got a job working on airplanes. He's kind of like a guy, he's got like an engineering mind.
Right.
He's thorough as we're about to see. He gets the job, his like dream job, he describes it as.
Yeah.
But then loses it for some reason a couple months later. And that is the moment he said his brain went, fuck it, time to kill.
It's on.
So that is that's the moment where his psychopathy, his latent psychopathy became active.
Right. So my understanding is he said while he was working at the job, what is the name of it's a big time
Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin.
It's not.
It's not. No, it's not. I was going to say no, I would have remembered that. No, but it's like a brand name. Anyway, so he was working there and he said, what does he call it? Trolling, where he said he would, I don't know if that's the word he used. It's something like that, where basically he said to blow off steam, he would drive around and kind of stalk people and troll.
Yeah.
Then he said, and that was good enough. He was extremely occupied with his job. He liked his job, liked the family, everything was going well, but went to blow off. Whenever he said, I got a little bit of time, this is what I do. I just kind of drive around and kind of stalk certain people and kind of stalk, look around. And But then he lost the job and suddenly he had a lot of time on his hands. And he said, because I had so much time on my hands, that's part of what made him go, okay, that's it. What I've been daydreaming about for all this time, now I'm going to do it.
And it's Wichita, so it's not so easy to just get another job.
Yeah.
Back then.
And it's a very small community too.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's let's say it's 30,000 people. I don't know how many people it is, but that's a pretty tiny community to be killing in your area. That's
250,000 is what it grew to be up, when he got arrested, but that's a small area. So they've never seen anything like this. Obviously.
All the cops, everybody they interviewed said, look, that doesn't happen here. One person said, which I love, they said, this happens in New York. This happens in big cities. It doesn't happen here. I thought, yeah.
Oh, it happens here. it happens here.
Right.
So he gets laid off and he says, well, how am I going to fill the hours up? I'm going to start killing. And kill he does. January 15th, 1974, he commits probably the most brutal homicide that Wichita's ever seen. It's a quadruple homicide. And explain to me how he did this physically. Because he kills Joseph Otero, 38, a grown-ass man, his wife, Julie, two of their children, Josephine and Joseph. And he leaves their two other children, their two older kids, come home and discover the bodies after they get off school.
Right. So what happens is initially he's watching, he watches the wife, and typically the husband's gone, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty sure he's in the military and he's gone. And so he comes home. He comes because he's looking to grab the wife. And I don't know if he knows if the kids are there, but he hears a dog, but he figures I'm already committed, right? As he gets into the backyard, because he's going to come through the back door. As he's walking up to the back door, one of the kids opens up the back door, and the dog comes out to let the dog out. So the dog comes out, and he's got his gun. So he pushes the little kid in because he thinks I'm going to grab both kids and the mother. And as soon as he walks in with the gun, the father's standing there, but he's got a gun. He's already got his gun out. So he's got a weapon. The father is like, follow his directions because he knows he's got a weapon. And he's also telling them that he's there to rob them, right?
Right.
Like sometimes he would tell people, I'm not sure which one this was, but sometimes it would be this one. I'm pretty sure he said like, listen, I'm desperate. I'm broke. I'm an escaped convict, kind of like the Zodiac killer. Escaped convict, or, I'm on the run, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And he's got, I'm just going to rob you. And what he first does is he has, I believe he has the wife tie up the husband. Then he ties up the wife. Then he ties up the two kids. Then he's never done this before. So he puts a bag over Mr. Otero's head, and I believe it wrapped tape around it or a cord. And the problem is that he's assuming he's going to suffocate, right? Mm-hmm. Mr. Otero chews through the bag, and he can hear him breathing through the hole in the bag. And so he goes in there, and I'm pretty sure he chokes him to death. Once again, not easy to do, right? So no. it takes. Well, here's the problem: is it takes a long time. You could do. People think you watch the movies and it's done in 20 seconds, right?
No,
but it's not. It's minutes,
and it's not like clean. You break their windpipe; they're bleeding. It's awful.
So you hear. So I hear.
Yes.
So and then he ends up killing the wife, and then he kills the little boy. He actually supposedly watches the little boy. Like he wraps something around his head, sits there and pulls up a chair and watches the little boy suffocate to death.
And he's also, he's letting him up for air. He's not doing it quick. Like he brings him to the point of death and then takes the bag off.
Which is something that's common for serial killers. And it's funny because when I was watching one of the docs, they said you could tell that this happens because their faces get bloated or something. There's some kind of bloating that happens where it doesn't happen naturally if you suffocate. So that was... And I'm sure, I have no doubt that Dennis Rader had no problem telling you exactly what he did eventually when they eventually catch him. So then he takes the older girl. I believe she's 13 or 14. Is she 13 or 14?
No, Josephine's 11.
Oh, 11. Mm-hmm. Fuck, this fucking guy. Takes her downstairs and he hangs her.
Right.
And then after he hangs her, he masturbates.
Right.
And absolutely leaves semen. Like even though back in the early 70s, when the police showed up, there's no DNA. They don't really know anything about DNA. They don't know that DNA is something that's coming in the future, that this will be a revolutionary tool that they can use. But still, they see the semen, they take samples. Right. They know to take samples. Maybe they're thinking blood type, something. I don't know. Either way, they take samples. And Rader knows he left the DNA, by the way. I mean, he knows he left the semen. Because later on, when he starts hearing that they're using DNA, he starts thinking, oh, shit.
Right.
Hopefully, they didn't take it, but they've been picking this stuff up and keeping it as evidence forever. So anyway,
does he also take pictures? This first, I believe he takes pictures
of
the little girl. because he's got her. Because every time he kills somebody, he takes time to put them in weird positions after they're dead. So he writes cryptic things on the wall of the basement at the Oteros, and then the little girl Josephine, after she's dead already, she's hanging from rope that's attached to a pipe. He kind of affixes her in certain positions. Are
you serious? See, I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I know later on he takes that one woman to the church. And
that's right.
Photographs her in the church.
He did that too, for sure.
Listen, this guy is there's so many, a lot of the serial killers, I don't want to say they're not creepy, but there are some that it's kind of like they're just going through the motions. They're not doing anything that's really, for instance.
They have no style.
Right. This guy is dark. He's dark. He's got some real issues.
Guy had a brand. He had a brand. He knew about building a brand, which is important.
So he leaves there. I don't know if he cut the phone lines. One of the big things he would do is cut the phone lines. Either way, he leaves there. He leaves the bodies, and then
he had his whole kit. He had his rope, his tape, and his tools for entry.
Right.
Because this guy was, as you mentioned, when he found out that DNA was a thing, he stopped jerking off at the scene. Like he wanted to get away. Right. He was smart. He
wants credit. He wants his brand. He wants the BTK, his BTK signature to be known. He wants press.
Well, that's the whole thing with like criminals. That's always been the difficulty, the duality of the criminal life. You have to be invisible.
Right.
Old school mafia guys never even spoke about it outside of your crew.
Right.
You can't, you're a gangster, so you're completely anonymous. But not just men, but mankind, you want to be recognized. That's a thing that we have as humans, but whatever profession you're in, you want to have some recognition from people, right? So like Big Meech, the Big Meech and the whole BLM crew. Big time drug dealers, like $500 million drug crew.
Sometimes weight loss can feel like a battle that you just keep losing. Well, Weight Loss by Hims wants to make your weight loss journey easier. You get access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medicines, like the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen, plus real support to help you stick with it. With Hims, you're never on your own. You get 24/7 messaging with your care team, plus help that's built right in with recipes, meal plans, workout videos, and sleep tips. And you get a plan built just for you. If you qualify, your dosage can change anytime you need it to. So treatment actually fits your life, not the other way around. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/murdermen to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/murdermen. hims.com/murdermen. Weight Loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk A/S. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com.
Yeah, they're putting up billboards.
They're putting up billboards.
Right.
It's so the ego gets the best of him, and this guy was ego driven. This guy wanted some recognition for his work. But I'm just saying it's unlike many of the serial killers we've talked about. I mean, this guy was doing dry runs before he went into a home. Like this guy was casing the joint. He was thorough.
Yeah, he's got it. He has his alibi already. Alibi is already set up. He's got like fake IDs, or at least IDs. I don't know that they have this photo on them or anything. I don't know that they're driver's license, but they are like fake IDs, like saying he works for a company. He's got. He has accessories to make it look like he were the Bell telephone thing, so that he was able to walk around or talk his way into a house. He would say he was from like Bell Telephone or something, or I don't know if it was AT&T, whatever.
He also used the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts.
I couldn't. I was up in the woods.
Yeah.
My Boy Scout troop. I couldn't have killed this
I'm guilty of something. Not that. So yeah. Anyway, it's funny you mentioned the bragging thing. Like fraudsters are the worst, because you desperately want to tell everybody how smart you are, right? Like they're the worst. And I talk about that all the time, because the Chos would come into Coleman and they would always say, "Oh, what are you here for? Fraud." And then guys would come into me and say, "Go, bro, go talk to that guy." And I go, why? He says he's here for fraud. I go, God, I don't want to go talk to the guy. What are you talking about? Just go see.
He wants to meet you.
Something ain't, no, he doesn't. Something ain't right about him. And I go up and I say, hey, what kind of fraud? And they'd go, credit card fraud. I go, what were you charged with? I was charged with credit card fraud. And I go, your charge is credit card fraud. And they go, yeah. And there is no such thing as credit card fraud, by the way. There's no charge for it in the federal system. It's
what is
access device fraud. But it's like, because, mine's bank fraud. There's no mortgage fraud. There's bank fraud. Anyway, and I was like, but I don't say that. I would sit there and go, right. And I say, okay. I said, well, what were you doing? I was getting money from the banks. No, I understand, but how? And they go, I was taking money out of people's credit cards. I go, did you work for the bank? Did you work for a credit card company? I don't understand what's going on.
You're like podcasting.
Right. I'm
explain it.
Explain it. Yeah, I want to know how the fraud works, right? And it's not a learning experience. I remember this one guy said that. And I looked at him and I went, oh, okay. And I turned to the guy that asked me to talk to him and I go, he's a cho. And I turned around and walked off. And he's like, the guy goes, bingo. He goes, I knew it. And he came up to me later and he goes, why? How'd you know that? I said, I've never met a fraud guy that wasn't desperate to tell you how smart he was, to let you know what he did, how he figured it out, how brilliant his crime was. I said, you don't even want to talk about it? I said, no, bullshit. You're not here for fraud. Sure enough.
The guy goes, yeah, I was kiddie porn.
Yeah, it was. Sure enough, it was. I remember what they said when the cops showed up and when the cops showed up with the search warrant and wanted to get his computer, they were like, are we going to find anything on there here? And he goes, well, no. Well, nothing recent. He said, maybe from, 6 months ago or something. They're like, yeah, okay. That's recent enough.
Oh, man. Yeah, the statutes aren't that loose.
Yeah. And his parents owned a mortuary, by the way.
See,
I don't know if that had something to do with it. I don't know.
No, if they had just let him fuck the dead bodies.
I think maybe he was fucking the dead body. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. But
that's
there were some photos of it.
I'd rather have my son fucking some corpses than watching, we might have solved it. We might have solved
the problem. We could stop this right now. Anyway, after he leaves the Oteros, right? The kids come home, they find the parents.
And their siblings.
Yeah, and their siblings. Did you see the part, the one of the videos actually said where one of the kids goes into like where his parents are and calls for the other one. He says, hey, get in here. Mom and dad are playing a joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He thought it was a big joke.
Yeah. Yeah. And they knew something was off because the dog was outside. They were like, the dog's never outside.
Right.
Imagine that trauma.
Oh yeah. Those two kids, mom, dad, both your two younger siblings. No,
you're done.
Also, I don't know if you knew this. So did you ever read the book by Truman Capote, In Cold Blood?
No, but it's famous. I've heard of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a book that's based on these two guys get out of prison. They hear that in this farmhouse, some jerk off that they were locked up with tells them that in this farmhouse where he used to do handyman work, that the farmer there has a safe that has tons of cash. He puts all this cash, and there's a safe like in the basement. They both get out of prison. They hook up. They go to the farmhouse. They take the family, and it's a family. I want to say it's a family of four, and with two parents, a family of four. And they basically go into the house. They tie everyone up. They kill them all. It's complete bullshit. There's no fortune. There's no money. There's no safe. It's all bullshit. That was huge. That was a huge crime that Dennis Rader remembers and studied and read the book. So then he has almost an identical, maybe it's whatever. I'm just thought it's interesting. I thought it was interesting. So anyway, after
he's got a
it's an outline.
It's a blueprint.
It's a blueprint.
A little bit.
So anyway, so after they find them, what ends up happening? Because
the town goes nuts, right? And then they start, they go after suspects. By the way, I want to point out, in 40 years, he is never a suspect.
No, never.
Not even
on a
pulled in.
list.
Not even on a list. Never pulled in. He has, and I don't want to jump ahead too far, but he has one interaction with cops. That's it.
Right.
Right after he did a killing, by the way. In October of 74, so 8 months after the killings, a letter arrives at the Wichita Eagle Beacon claiming responsibility and including accurate crime scene details.
Right.
The first confirmed BTK communication. So he was the modern day Ripper.
Right.
He was toying with these people, right? Like,
Pretty sure the reason he did it was he read that somebody had confessed to the crime.
that's right.
Some young kid came in and confessed to the crime, and there was an article about it, and he was upset because his fear was that they were going to charge this kid, and that kid was going to get credit for his murders. No, he's not trying to help him out.
No.
But of course, the kid doesn't have any information. And here's the thing: when people watch this, like this actually happens a lot. There are many people will go into police stations and confess to crimes that they had nothing to do with. It's just some kind of a sickness.
Yeah.
And
They're doing it like for a sick goof. It's like when you call the cops when you're a kid.
Yeah, but is it because they're going in a lot? These guys are they're not like laughing about it. I wonder, is it like you're homeless and you're hoping to get like a bologna sandwich, or are they trying to get locked up, or are they just mentally ill? Something's going on, because I don't think it's them thinking it's funny, because let's face it, the fucking cops don't think it's funny. You don't have to do that once to realize, this shit's not funny.
Right.
So either way, there's an article about it. He's upset. He writes a letter with extensive details, positioning of bodies, where they're located in the house, all kinds of stuff that they would never know.
Mm-hmm.
Sends it in because he wants to make sure that that BTK gets credit.
And that is the first time with that article, with that letter that he wrote to the newspaper, that BTK becomes the brand.
Right. Binds them, tortures.
Bind, torture, kill.
Yeah.
Bind, torture, kill. And that's, what lives now. This is living over the heads of the people of Wichita for the next, 74, the next 40 years. So in April.
They actually get used to, it's funny because one of the guys said, you actually got, if you lived in the area, you actually got used to every few years there would be, this guy would kill somebody and then take credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just got used to it.
Wow. Of course. Yeah. I mean, humans get used to anything, right? During this time period, because he took big breaks. Like the guy would take 5-8 year breaks in between killings. The people were buying home alarm systems like crazy, right? He gets a job working for the alarm company.
It's nice, right? Like,
hey, it's
you're creating your own opportunity.
Guys, that's right. This isn't a job. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Got to go start selling gun. No, trust me, there's going to be a spike this weekend. I promise you.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I'm sure.
Yeah. So on April 4th, 1974, only 3 months after the Otero murders, Rader breaks into the home of 21-year-old Catherine Bright. Her 19-year-old brother, Kevin Bright, was present and fought back.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
And this is where Rader's got a gun and he shoots Kevin in the head.
Yeah.
Kevin survives it and stumbles out of the house and goes to get help.
Right.
Goes to get help.
He'd been watching her for several weeks, knew her schedule, did not realize that the brother was coming into town and was going to be there. Had no clue, right? So, so when he's tying up, he ties her up. He ties up he's trying to tie up the brother. Brother struggles. He shoots him.
Mm-hmm.
First off, how confident do you have to be that you could fire a gun and nobody would come? Like if I fired a gun in my house, I would feel like one of my neighbors, somebody would call the police.
This was daytime.
Yeah.
And he talks about this killing when he gets arrested. He's like, this was a tricky one.
Yeah.
I was kind of cowboy in this one a little bit,
So to me, if I've had to fire the gun, I'd just take off. He hangs out. So he shoots the guy in the head. He hits the ground. He's passed out. He's done.
Right. Thinks he's done.
Yeah. Thinks he's done. Then he goes after the sister. He goes after the sister and he ties her up and I want to say molesting her because he's not really doing anything, right? I mean, he's masturbating.
He's strangling her.
Oh yeah, he's strangling her. Sorry, but
while he jerks off?
I don't know.
So it's kind of like a reverse autoerotic asphyxiation.
Either way, something's wrong. Something's wrong with the guy. So Kevin, the brother,
Right.
isn't dead.
No, he wakes up like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill.
Yeah. And basically takes off out the front door, and Rader knows he took off.
Yeah.
And he
still doesn't run away.
Doesn't run away,
Yeah.
continues to finish strangling the sister. Can you imagine
She didn't
that?
die though. She didn't die
Right
fast
away.
enough, and so he stabs her to death.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Like I said, we must say, strangling takes much longer. It's minutes. This is not 30 seconds like in the
Right.
movies. This is 2-3 minutes minimum
Mhm.
to cut off the circulation. And if you let go, sometimes they'll come back.
Yeah,
So,
it's like edging.
right.
Sorry. Like and subscribe, ladies. Like and subscribe.
So,
It wasn't working. He
No.
couldn't get this. He couldn't get this broad to go under. So he used a knife to kill her.
So he kills her.
This with
the brother
the
takes off.
second worst way to die. And then he bounces. But he also puts her in a super weird, like when I say a super weird position, I'm lacking the verbiage. It's like a demonic, it's like a demonic position that's almost like God, Colby, help me out because I want people to understand.
Picture. Where did you see? Did he take a photo of this one?
They drew up in the documentaries I watched.
Oh,
they
I saw
drew
the
up the
drawings.
mocks of it. Yeah. They
saw
mocked it up.
I thought,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I thought maybe he took a picture of this one too.
Have you've obviously seen Seven. You've obviously seen the first season of True
I love
Detective.
Seven, by the way. Seven was the fucking most amazing movie.
I can't watch that late at night because I'm gonna get scared. It's still one of those things.
It's great. Yeah. Did you know in Brad Pitt's, by the way, his contract? that he signed?
you've told the story on air maybe 5 times.
Are you serious? I love it. I love that he was fucking
What, you
like,
love the
fuck
story?
you. No, that Brad Pitt, that he was like, if you can't change this.
No, I know.
I love that.
I know that, Gramps. I'm just letting you know. 5 times. Yes. The head had to be in the box.
Had to.
Right.
Had to.
So another part of the script too, where he's running after, like he changed the whole end of the movie.
Okay. What was that?
I'm just telling you, Brad Pitt had juice even back then.
Okay. So anyway.
So you've also seen the first season of True Detective.
No.
Okay. I guarantee you the writer looked for inspiration from the BTK killer because it's like devil worship.
Mhm.
It's like old imagery of these like satanic extra earthly beings, right? People with devil's horns, wings or whatever. Colby, if you could help me out here. So I want to explain to the people
the sketches of BTK's murders.
Yeah, it's
So is
you're
it where
putting
they-
your victims.
Like they do like a weird.
Yes,
And then
put
it's
your
got
arm over-
the legs are crossed like
Exactly.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's super weird.
Yeah, it's like demonic creatures. Yeah, so the victims he would hang or strangle.
Mhm.
Like he would,
He put
their
them in a
arm
weird-
would be over here, their arm over the head. Maybe we could even pop that up on screen. Yeah, and it's kind of like this old devil imagery, and so he would try to mimic that with his victims. By the way, this murder was not linked to BTK until years later. So I think this town had kind of a denial in
So
them.
he didn't immediately take.
take credit for it. He didn't always contact the press. He only
Right.
did it when he had
Yeah.
to. In fact, I want to say,
Well, they have the one where he picks the woman up and drives her way off in the middle of fucking nowhere too. Like it's
Right.
a complete departure
totally.
from everything.
And that's why he was able to stay out on the street for so long.
Right.
I mean, this guy.
Sometimes he wants to take credit. Sometimes he wants to throw the cops off.
Right. And when he switches up his patterns. Right. So,
Right.
I mean, the guy was, kind of ingenious. So that one he doesn't cop to till years later. And I think, and so much time would pass, years sometimes would pass between killings that when the next killing happened, the town of Wichita said, well,
Yeah, they're not automatically.
maybe they're not. Maybe these aren't BTK. These are just other home invasions that happen all the time in Wichita. I don't know how you don't see that as linked.
Well,
Because the homicide rate in Wichita is like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's, but anyways, they convinced themselves that, yeah, okay, there hasn't been a BTK murder in 4 years. So how can we call this one a BTK
Yeah, it doesn't
murder?
take them they're not connecting them right away. So, plus he's having, listen, I think by this point, I know he had his first kid. And I think by now he's got his second daughter, right? It's two daughters.
He has kids in,
two daughters?
yes, in 1978. So he's already killed, I don't know, 5 people by then. This is wild. So he's battling with himself. Like he really is 2 people. It's almost a case of, is it schizophrenia? Is it bipolar? Or is it complete like split personality? It sounds like
you could probably say split personality, which is shit. I forget the legal term for it, but yeah, it's diversion personalities. I forget, something like that. But yeah, there's definitely a duality there. I mean, let's face it, he's a loving father to 2 daughters, a good husband. He's
active in the church,
active in the Boy Scouts, and there was never nobody in the Boy Scouts says that there's anything weird going on. In the Boy Scouts, like he's active in the community. He's a good worker.
Right.
I just have this hobby, you know?
Yeah. So in 1977, so he 3 years go by.
Right.
3 years go by. Suspects, there's never a serious suspect.
Right.
Until these murders. Okay. On March 17th, 1977, Rader enters the home of 24-year-old Shirley Vian, a mother of 3 in Wichita. He locked her children in a bathroom before strangling Shirley with a cord. Rader later said a ringing telephone startled him into leaving before he could harm the children, who were later freed and called police. So he did get scared. What's interesting is a phone scared him this time, but a guy running out with a bullet in his head trying to find the cops.
Yeah, no,
he's like, I gotta finish. I
got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one where he goes into the house and he tells her that he has a sexual problem. First he says he's going to rob her, right? I think he said he's going to rob her. It's funny because I've heard 2 different things. One, because she's thinking he's just going to rob me, but he tells her I have a sexual problem, and he needs to, you know, he's going to jack off and tie her up, but he needs to tie her up. So he ties her up. He puts the kids in the thing, but they're banging on the door and shit, right? Like he gives them. He builds some trust with her because he's not going to tie up the kids. I'll give him some toys and put them in the bathroom, and he does. And they're locked in the bathroom somehow. How, I don't know. And then he ties her up, and he does. He strangles her, and then he masturbates, and then he leaves. I guess because of the telephone. And then the kids eventually break out of the bathroom somehow or another. They get out of the bathroom. But
this is not the case or is it where they think the husband did it? That was their only serious suspect. I don't think
this isn't
it
because the kids were there and the kids know it's not dad.
Right.
No, I'm wondering, I think this is the one where she sits down with him and she smokes a cigarette. It's this one or another one, I'll say, and she smokes a cigarette and he explains what's going to happen and what he's going to do, but he'll let her go. And she says, okay, she smokes a cigarette. She goes, okay, well, let's get this over with.
She's like this. That's fucked up, but
yeah, let's get this over with.
Let's do it.
Let's get this over with.
Dude, how candid.
Puts it out on her fucking. And he's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
She's a fucking
gangster.
So
how candid.
I don't know if it's this one or the next one.
Matt, should we role play?
No, we're good.
Listen,
but what's
your name? What's your name? Nancy. This is gonna sound fucking crazy, and
I'm gonna need to tie you up and jack off on you.
I got
problems.
I got to jack off.
Right.
Okay. This is before.
Yeah.
Like, and it's Wichita, so it's a dry county. I can't go buy my anywhere. I'm gonna tie you up, and I'm gonna masturbate, but it's gonna be like 4 feet from you. Yeah. And I know it's creepy as shit.
I gotta get in on you.
It's creepy as shit. I'm not gonna. Kids, by the way, that's gross. Yeah, that's evil.
That's crazy.
But
I'm married, so I won't touch you.
Right. Yeah. No. Oh no. I'm not here to. I'm not here to like violate you or anything like that. Like I'm a married. Don't you see the ring? Like what is wrong with you? I'm married. Okay. Yeah. I just got to get one off. This is the only way I can blow a load.
Yeah.
And look, you're gonna be making dinner, having a laugh after this.
You're
gonna look
She's
back.
not though.
No,
She's not,
he was
though.
lying.
No, he was lying. He's a liar.
He's a liar.
So he neglected to mention that you have to be tied up and strangled. He
You
doesn't mention that till after they're tied up. Dickhead.
That's what's wild is, and I'm not gonna make a joke about this. He would lie to get his victims to acquiesce, to submit, and then when they were already incapacitated or bound, he'd be like, "I'm the BTK killer."
Yeah,
and that's when they would know their feet was sealed.
Yeah.
Fate was sealed.
But yeah, it's done. It's done. Horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
Yeah. So this is how Shirley passes. Wichita Police Chief Richard Lemunyon would later publicly confirm a serial killer was active in the city. So,
yeah, they have to admit it.
They have
at
to
this
admit
point,
it
they
now.
have to admit it.
Yeah.
They put them together.
Yeah.
We can't not say anything at this point.
Yeah, exactly. By 77, that's when the residents of Wichita already know that there is a killer in their community, but now the cops have to admit, yeah, we got a serial killer on our hands.
Yeah.
And by the way, the cops look into the camera when they interview them in like the 2000s where they're making all these documentaries and they're like, yeah, we didn't have shit.
I love the honesty.
That's so honest.
We ain't got no leads. None. Call us. You know something, call us.
And they didn't call the feds till like the 80s, till like 10 people had died. And we're like, can the FBI, can you come down here?
Yeah, the FBI didn't do any good either. By the way, they're like, but thank God we're smarter than we're at least as smart as the FBI because they got nothing either.
They showed up,
and by the time they showed up, they had a whole slew of fucking evidence that they couldn't do anything.
Right.
Hey, can I mention something real quick?
Sure.
And I don't know because there is no time frame, so I'm sure this is not in the outline. So. Because this was just something that that Dennis Rader. This is Dennis. So when they're like, "Did your wife ever know?" No, she had no idea. She had no idea. And they're like, "Did she ever suspect?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, one time when they had printed a letter that he had written in to the press, and they published it in the newspaper. His wife, he was reading the newspaper, and she looked over his shoulder and saw a copy of the note, and she said, 'Oh wow, look!' She goes, 'That guy misspells whatever the word was, just like you do.'" And he said, and so the detective's like, "What'd you do?" He goes, "I actually thought I'm going to have to kill her right now. Like I may have to kill her." And he said, "But she never brought it up again.
Right.
I never heard about it again. She never questioned me. She never." So I obviously didn't have to do anything. Here's another thing.
Yeah. He's
So
like,
the wife had no idea. But
what do you think the word was? There?
What?
There and there?
Yeah, there and there. So here's what's interesting. You ever see the TikToks where they're like, if I win the lottery, there will be signs, right?
Yeah.
So even though I tell no one. So for him, did you know that he used to tie himself up and take photographs of. This is why I'm saying it's like not like this guy's got like a sick fantasy, like it's a minor sick fantasy about this one thing. Like in general, he's just a weird sicko. But it's amazing that he can keep it from everyone, especially because he's going out in the woods, tying himself up on Boy Scout trips and photographing himself bound and tied and hanging. Sometimes he's hanging upside down. Sometimes he's bound. And one time he ties himself up so well, he can't get himself out. And his fear is, he's like, it took him forever to get himself loose. He said, my fear was that the Boy Scout troop was going to come back and they would have found me tied up. And he's tied up in like women's underwear. Like he's got a G-string on and a fucking bra and he's naked and all hairy and shit, tied up. And so that's one thing. The other thing is one time he would also do this he called them motel parties. He'd go off into a motel and he would do the same thing, tie himself up in the motels. But on two separate occasions, his wife came home and caught him tied up. Like he would tie himself up. I don't know if they had a basement or whatever.
Honey, it was the BTK killer.
Right.
I barely got away.
You're here. He just left. No, that might have worked the first time. But the second time she came home, she sat down with him and said, first, she was so disgusted by my behavior. And the second time she sat down and she said, if this happens again, I will take the kids and I will leave you. And he said, so I knew at that point I couldn't do it in the house anymore.
So you had to go to motels and shit.
I couldn't do it in the house anymore. I'm not going to change my behavior. I'm not going to go see someone. You can't do it in the house anymore. That's when the motel parties started.
And by the way, these are single man parties. Like nobody else.
There's nobody else in the room.
The guy can have fun by himself. I love that. I can have fun by myself.
Yeah,
I fucking go to movies alone. I go to diners alone. I love it. Can you imagine if his Boy Scout troop caught him hanging from a tree, tied up? He's like, these bears, dude. These fucking bears. Oh, take a breath. Take a deep breath. So these happen in tranches, right? Like he takes years off and then he kills.
Right.
Like he gets multiple bodies in 1 year. Okay.
I wonder I never got an explanation for why. Although
dude, he practices. He's practicing himself tying up.
No, he's trying to satisfy that
itch.
That itch during this time period. And gets to a point where he just can't do it, and he's got to do something, right?
Right.
That's right. But so there's no real
but
catalyst. It just builds up to the point where the motel parties aren't doing it anymore. I can't do this at the house.
Yeah.
My wife won't.
Yeah, my fucking bitch of a wife won't let me fucking
tie her up.
Yeah.
She keeps struggling.
I can't wear my G-string.
Yeah.
Nobody understands me. If this guy had just gone to LA, he might not have killed anyone. He would have found like-minded people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he'd probably be running like a hair salon. He'd be an old bear. So December 77, so he kills Shirley Vian in April of 77, okay? On December 8th, 77, Rader strangles 25-year-old Nancy Fox in her home. Now, this is where it starts to get good. What's up?
I think, is she alone? She's a single woman alone, right? Nancy Fox?
We're going to get to it.
Okay, sorry. Is she the one I think she's the one who's smoking the cigarette.
It's fucking awesome.
And
I hope that's true. I want that to be true.
Yeah.
So on December 8th, 1977, Rader strangles 25-year-old Nancy Fox in her home. Now, this is where it starts to get juicy. In chilling detail, he called the police on himself afterward and calmly reported the crime. So this is where this is the first, and it's very grainy. You can go back and listen to it on YouTube.
Horrible tape.
It's horrible quality. Like nobody ran it through a processor. It's embarrassing.
No.
Okay. If he was working on this show, he'd be fired. But this is the first time that we actually hear his voice. I'm not sure why. I think it's just it had been a minute since he had communication with the media.
Yeah.
With authorities. So I think he just wanted to kind of let these motherfuckers know, this is me. I'm still out here.
Is this the one? No, it was a letter. One of the letters where he wrote, how many people do I have to murder before I see my name in the paper?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Rader escalated his communications after this killing. He wrote a poem referencing the Shirley Vian murder, which he sent to the Wichita Eagle Beacon on January 31, 78, followed by a letter to KAKE TV on February 10th, 78, in which he coined the name BTK for himself.
Was the poem any good?
So it was called the Shirley Locks poem.
Oh, okay.
Shirley Locks, wilt thou be mine? Thou shalt not scream, not yet feel the line, but lay on cushion and think of me and death and how it is going to be.
And so when he mails this in, they mail it to like the correspondence room. They ignore it. They don't realize the significance of it. And that's why he writes the second letter.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Where he very specifically says,
I'm the BTK motherfucker.
Yeah, you guys aren't getting the poem.
And they wouldn't.
Connection.
They didn't broadcast it for like another year and a half after he called in. On August 15th, 1979, police broadcast the recorded BTK voice publicly and received more than 100 tips in a single day.
Yeah, hoping.
Yeah, and that's a common thing. They get all kinds of tips in. Nothing.
How many tips?
Over 100 tips in a single day.
Can you imagine now? Like how small is this fucking place? 100 tips.
Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
That's nothing.
I know.
That's manageable.
They didn't have a description.
Yeah, they got nothing. They got nothing. Here's what's interesting too, by the way. I don't know if this is the one, but when he's mailing these letters, he's actually photocopying the letter and then photocopying that letter and then going to another machine and photocopying it and photocopying the copy of the copy of the copy. So he'd do it 5 or 6 times to make it so degraded.
Yes.
And then he would fold them up carefully and send them in.
Though the guy was, and you know how he got police? No. He would tell them where they could find the letter. He would leave letters at like the public library.
Oh, yeah.
Like
he'd
inside
stick it
of
in
a
a book.
book.
That's right.
Yes.
He'd stick it in a book.
Yes. And then he would call them and tell them where to find it.
Right.
So the guy was aware that the FBI had like this ability to trace, handwriting and where shit was. He was good.
Yeah. And the other thing is at some point, probably after they named him a serial killer, he starts leaving clues in cereal boxes. Dennis. And then he'd put it out in the middle of nowhere and then tell him where to go to find it.
Right. So it's control. Like, not only does he control his victims and determine when they're allowed to die when he's torturing them, it's like he's controlling the whole town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's definitely got he's got an issue. He's got I wonder if he was controlling as like a father or, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I don't know if there's ever been an interview with his family.
His daughter wrote a book. She's got a whole doc. She's got a doc.
Wow.
Her literary agent was my first literary agent.
No shit.
Yeah.
My dad, he was just misunderstood.
Well, she's kind of like she's like this is like a normal
right.
dad. My understanding is she's as shocked as anybody. There are like little things that she remembers, but nothing. Kind of like with the Boy Scouts. One of the murders, he ends up going. He knows he's going on a Boy Scout excursion, so he wakes up early in the morning, goes and commits the murder, comes back, and then spends the day with the Boy Scouts. So he's got so if anybody ever asks him, he can say, "What are you talking about? All day I was with the Boy Scouts."
And by the way, after a murder, he barely gets away. He's in a public bathroom washing his hands, and the cops have basically a roadblock.
Right.
They have is that a roadblock where they stop cars? Yeah. Right. So they have a roadblock. He's got he has his toolkit in his back seat.
And photographs of the murder victim.
Right. Exactly. A cop asks him, "What are you doing here? There's been a murder, blah, blah, blah." He goes, "Oh no, I'm with the Boy Scouts. I'm just doing something. I'm getting ready to go back.
Running an errand.
Yeah, I'm running an errand for the Boy Scouts." And that's enough to where the cops don't even search his car. And they would have pinned him. And this was in 1991. That was his last murder. And he does not get caught for another 14, 15 years after that. But before we get to how it concludes, after 1979, Rader doesn't kill for 6 years. So there was one failed attempt. Actually 2. First, with the guy that he shoots in the head, the brother of the murder victim, he gets away. In 79, Rader is waiting inside a woman's home, but leaves before she returns, later sending her a letter about it.
Oh, he takes some stuff, too. He takes a few things. And then you're right. That's super anticlimactic, right? He thinks she's supposed to be home at a typical time. She usually comes home. She never comes home.
But he's waiting. But he sticks to the script. Oh, plan's off, then I'm aborting the mission, right? It's what gets most people caught in any kind of crime is not sticking to the plan. So he was disciplined with his killing. So he leaves and doesn't kill for another 6 years till 1985. Now, during this period, this is where he gets a job with the security company.
Is it the security?
Installing home system alarms
okay.
in the community.
So this is before, because I know at some point he does something with code enforcement or something.
Well, look, dude, he gets
no.
He has code. He's doing code enforcement in the 70s after he gets laid off from the aerospace company. In 1979, that's when he gets his degree in criminal justice from Wichita State, and then goes to work for the security installation company.
Okay, how long does that last?
I think it lasts for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he's doing good at it.
At some point, he starts to work for the city doing code enforcement.
That's right.
That's when he does that.
And then he's his Boy Scout leader, president of his church. So the late 70s, early 80s, he's really getting his shit together. He staves it off. He staves it off for 6 years. He staves off the itch, okay, until April 27th, 1985. Rader murders his own neighbor. Well, how many of us? Right.
Well, I think
Let he who cast the first stone. Let he who without sin cast the first stone.
Perfect, because I'm pretty sure she worked at the church with him.
Right.
I think she's the one that he works at the church.
So 53
or is in the church somehow. Somehow she's associated with the church and him. Like,
okay.
She's like a volunteer or something. I forget.
53-year-old Marine Hedge in a crime Rader privately called Project Cookie, killing her specifically to see if he could get away with murdering someone who lived only a few houses away. Right. So up until this point, Rader's tried to not shit where he's eaten, right? He's tried to keep it all outside of, even though
eat where you shit. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Shit where you eat.
No, you don't eat where you shit.
No, Colby. Oh, dude, let's bet $1,000 on it. No, you don't have that kind of money yet.
Okay.
No, it's shit where you eat.
Okay.
Because you want to eat, right?
Right.
So you don't want to shit where you eat because you're going to fuck your meal up.
Okay. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
You obviously. Well, that's good of you, Matt.
That one time.
That's good of you, Matt. That one time you've been wrong. Colby?
So who says what?
I said you don't shit where you eat.
And
He said,
no, I said you don't eat where you shit. So you don't eat where you shit.
I say the phrase is you don't shit where you eat.
Right. What is it?
Don't shit where you eat. There you go.
Okay.
Do not cause trouble, drama, or a mess in a place where you live, hang out. Exactly, right?
Okay.
So he finally shits where he eats. He kills his 53-year-old neighbor, Marine Hedge, to see if he can get away with killing somebody a few houses away. So he's like, he wants to go bigger, right?
Yeah.
He wants to challenge himself. He faked a headache to leave a Boy Scout outing. Okay, so he's out in the woods. That's his alibi. Staged a fake alibi. He stages a fake alibi involving a bowling alley and a taxi.
Yeah. He goes to the bowling alley. He changes. He drinks. He has a drink, and then he gets into a taxi like he's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand this. And then has the taxi drop him off in the middle of the neighborhood.
Right. And then he walks back to his street, breaks into Hedge's home, and strangles her after she returned from an evening out.
Right.
So he's waiting for her. He photographed her body at his own church.
Right.
So
He takes her to the church and photographs her in the church. Now, I think.
And all kinds of those demonic poses.
Yeah. So I heard it was in the basement, but then I also know that when they got the photographs, or they saw the photographs, they were like, the cops were like, this is in a church. So I don't know if church basements have a certain look or something, or if maybe there was just stuff that looked that they thought for sure this is in a church. Maybe there was stuff in the church. I don't know. Like, I don't think he brought her up in the church.
Right. No, there was a certain room where they would hold meetings because remember, he was the president of like the church council.
Yeah.
So he knew he had access to this.
Right. He's got the keys.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know why he wouldn't just do it at her home. Maybe she didn't have a basement. Who knows? But so he takes all of these pictures of her in these crazy poses.
Ballsy is it to move the
super
body?
super ballsy. And he knows about DNA. I think he's learning about DNA at this point in the 80s. Yeah, right? In the 80s, it's starting to become a science.
Yes, he knows that it's something that they're a tool that they're going to be able to use soon.
But still, he's getting his DNA all over shit. Probably masturbated. We're just going to assume masturbation is part of all of this.
It's always a sexual component unless he's being chased off, like unless he's interrupted in the middle, which he was furious at. He was furious about that the brother had taken off of the one crime, but he was furious because he's like, he had to hurry up and kill that person and never got to do or masturbate, which is what he wanted to do.
We've all had the blue balls. It's a real thing. So he photographs Marine Hedge's body and all of those awful satanic poses before dumping her in a rural ditch. Brought her to a ditch, tossed her in it. Project Cookie. The calculated nature of Project Cookie was what Rader dubbed his own murder. It's just risk-taking and planning.
Right. By the way, drove her vehicle, and her husband was on his way home. And he said he passed. He goes, I thought I passed my vehicle drove right by me. Like my wife's vehicle drove right by me. He said, but I did not recognize the person in the car, because of the glare and everything.
Right.
He couldn't really tell who was in it, but he remembers driving right by the vehicle on his way home. It's a small town.
Yeah.
It's in the neighborhood.
He easily could have recognized Rader.
If let's face it, you can't always get a good clear.
Yeah,
view of
it's a
someone.
nighttime. It's nighttime. But this is definitely, well, maybe with the exception of like the daytime shooting of that guy and the killing of his sister.
It's almost always in the daytime.
Yeah, but I would say this is probably the riskiest murder.
Well, especially imagine if he's stuck. Well, here's the problem. He always had a weapon. He always had a gun. Sometimes he's shooting people. Sometimes he's, killing them. But once again, things happen. The gun is for control, right? He needs to get control of these people.
So that happens in 1985. So now we're off to the races again. September 16th, 86, a project that he dubs Project Piano. So now he's dubbing this is like the Manhattan Project. He's like Oppenheimer, right? So Project Piano is where he kills Vicki Wegerle. On September 16th, 86, Rader poses as a telephone repairman to gain entry into the home of 28-year-old Vicki Wegerle, a local pianist, right? Hence Project Piano. He cuts the phone lines. This is where he's really, really crafty. So he's
like being interrupted that first time.
Exactly.
Or that one time.
That's right. That's right. Where he got scared off by the phone.
Like he's in mid.
Right. That was scary though.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Those phones?
Yeah.
Oh.
Super loud, dude.
Yeah.
If they go off in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like anytime that's why dads hated, remember old school dads? We had old school dads. They hated to be called after like 7.
Yeah.
When the sun who the fuck is calling this house?
Who's calling at 8:30 at night? 8:30. Katie? That would be my sister. Who's on the phone?
It's like the world stopped. The world stops for 12 hours until tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the slow pace of life.
We ate dinner every night at 6:00. Right? Yeah.
The Mitchells too.
I'm from the time when you came home when the lights came on, when the street lights came on.
Right.
That was a real like that. People joke about that. That was a real thing for me. When street lights come home, when street lights come on.
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys know when they come on?
Yeah.
Like they timed them, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's like now we have to take, it could be an important call. But back in the day, they had important calls, but they're like, you do not call this motherfucker in the morning. Okay.
Call during business hours.
Yeah, you call during business hours, motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's just better times. Better times. But anyways, so he kills Vicki Wegerle, that fucking annoying pianist. I hate hearing the sound of the piano, even if it's beautiful.
Was she a pianist?
He was a pianist. That's why I called Project Piano.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I'm such a piece of shit. When I'm on a plane and I hear the beautiful sound of a mother tickling her little infant to keep it from crying. This was yesterday, or when I'm flying back from Baltimore, and she's like, "Oh, that's a good boy." Like the sound of life, the sound of the most beautiful sound is a mother and her child.
Yeah,
and I just go, "Shut that fucking goddamn mother cocksucking kid up, you motherfucking who the fuck do you think you are?" A piano. Is there anything more beautiful than good piano? When I hear a neighbor playing the piano, I want to pull a fucking Dennis Rader. I want to go in and hit him with a fucking bat, dude. Anyways, he strangles her with pantyhose.
Oh, okay.
He strangled with her own pantyhose, not his pantyhose. He doesn't.
No, his is no.
I'm not ruining.
Those are mine.
I'm not ruining my own pantyhose for this, right? He strangles Vicki Wegerle with her own pantyhose while her 2-year-old child was home.
Oh,
Doesn't
kill the baby though.
Doesn't kill the baby. Yeah, but it's wild. He used now, by the way, she was suspicious when he knocks on her door and says, "Hey, you have a problem with the telephone?"
Right. She says, "My husband's going to be home soon."
Yes, my husband's going to be home soon. So she's kind of following him. She gets creepy vibes from this guy immediately. And so she's kind of like following him around the house, as he looks for the phone or whatever. So yeah, you can imagine that the terror that this woman had. So yeah, she suspected something was up. This case would later be forensically confirmed as a BTK murder through DNA. Mm-hmm. So he didn't cop to this one?
No, I'm sure he did. But
why would they have to confirm it with DNA later?
Well, they always confirm.
I guess so, right. Okay.
But you don't want, remember those two, that there was 2 guys that were claiming murders all over the country, and they found out that like half of them, more than half of them, like it was impossible that cops were just bringing, I forget these two fucking jerk offs. The one guy had killed several people, and he did have a buddy that was kind of like, had like, I don't know, like an 80 IQ or something. So he's kind of going along with it. He was also there for murder in the prison. And they decide that to get basically hamburgers and french fries and cigarettes, if we just start, like they both had like life sentences, let's just start admitting
copying
to
murders.
murders. And so they end up for years the cops are driving them all over the United States, and police departments are just coming saying, hey, we got 3 murders that we think you might have committed. And they're like, oh yeah, let me take a look. And they'd show them pictures. Oh yeah, that was by such and such. Yeah.
So they were just doing it to basically clear murders off.
Clear
their
murders
desk.
and get hamburgers and french fries and cigarettes.
So now they don't let them do that. You know, it's like,
Now
we're not just taking your word for it.
Yeah, we got to confirm this.
Okay, so I want to point out that Vicki Wegerle, the murder of Vicki Wegerle, her husband was the prime suspect in this.
Oh yeah, for years.
Yes, for years. So this is really the only suspect, and there's videotape of the aftermath of this because he really is on his way home.
Mm-hmm.
There's videotape. The camera footage is wild. He's carrying their 2-year-old daughter with his dead wife in the house. It's crazy. But so they suspect him for a long time, but he didn't do it.
Yeah,
and really, he was the only suspect. He was the only suspect in the whole 40-year saga.
Right.
There you go. But after that, he doesn't kill for a long time. He doesn't kill for. We're almost at his last murder. January 19th, 91. Rader abducts. So he waits another 6 years. It's crazy.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle. It's cunning. It is a cycle, but it's also him switching things up, him making sure that he doesn't leave a trace, him making sure
a lot of motel parties
and
suppress the itch.
Right. And he's also, what he's doing is he's leaving just enough bodies to where the entire town just kind of stays worried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I bet that town was armed. But there was a lot more. I bet you the
gun sales.
More. Yeah.
Absolutely. So January 19th, 91, Rader abducts 62-year-old Dolores Davis from her home and strangles her with her own pantyhose again. Wow. This is when women wore pantyhose.
Yeah,
you know? Remember that? That was a weird... Pantyhose were...
women still wear pantyhose.
No, barely.
Yeah, not like they used to, but yeah.
That's crazy.
They're out there.
That's crazy. Never understood why. Because they don't want to show their bare legs?
I think they make them look smoother. Like, if there's they look.
So you don't have to shave your legs all the time.
No, it's not. I don't think it's the shaving. I think it's like, if you have bruises or discolorations, or they also make them look tan. They're pale white.
So if you have gross, for Irish women, if you have gross, disgusting varicose vein legs.
True.
Anyways, kills Dolores Davis with her own goddamn pantyhose, January 19th, 91. He also abducts her. So can you go into this a little bit?
Oh, is this the one he dumps her body?
That's right. She's found 13 days later under a bridge.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. So every single crime is different. It's got different elements to it. I'm surprised this hasn't been a movie. This has been a movie.
It's got to be a movie. I think it is a movie.
No, there's not been any.
There's no BTK movie.
Not a blockbuster. Not the shine that it deserves.
Yeah, none of these are blockbusters.
No, but the shows were. Think about it. On the Netflix shows about Bundy and about Dahmer were huge.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah,
this guy deserves his own. I mean, this guy deserves his own show. We're gonna option his life rights and get this show made. So, do you have any more detail about the Dolores Davis murder?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any on this.
Okay.
I don't have any on this one. I just remember that he dumps the that he's switching it up because he's realizing that he's kind of doesn't want to be caught.
Right.
He's concerned. He's had some shit's gone wrong a couple of times, so he's getting a little bit more wily than taking credit for every single thing. He's chucking bodies and shit.
So after,
does he take credit? He didn't take credit for this right away.
No, he doesn't. After January 1991,
right?
Silence.
Is this one? Does he also drive way off to do this one? Like I think he drives like 45 minutes or something.
Right, he does.
Yeah.
He does. He takes her out of town and puts her under a fucking bridge. They don't find her for 2 weeks.
I think he also drove at a distance to go to her house. Most of these places are not that far from his house.
He tried to. Somebody did a heat map of it. It's like within like 3 or 4 miles, which I know is not far.
3 or 4
but
miles. This one.
This one is further.
Okay.
This one is further. But Wichita's a small town, so
That's right,
4
yeah.
miles away is like that's enough deniability. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like that could be almost the other end of town, especially back in these days. It might have grown since then. But point is, after this murder, he goes radio silent,
Right.
for fucking 13 years. 13 years. Like, we've talked about why serial killers, like there's probably people walking around the United States that have bodies on them, serial killers that just quit.
Right. He's definitely aged out. He's like 60, right?
No, by this
his
time,
50s?
by 91, he's 50. No, he's only 45. He's born in 1945, so he's 46 years old.
Okay.
So he's not that old, but
Wait, when was he born?
he was born in 1945.
Right. Okay.
So 91 brings us, that's 46.
Okay.
So, he's not super old, but
Right.
how
He's not a young spring chicken either,
Right,
though,
I guess-
but he is getting older. He's got 2 kids.
right.
He's more and more, but at this point, his kids are in their teens. He and his wife are getting more involved in the church and volunteering at the church.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing.
Amazing.
And so,
but that's not enough to keep a
you would
guy
think
like
he has
this.
more time.
Of course.
Like, that was the first. That was
Yeah,
the
he's
first
an empty
thing.
nester now. Kids are off of college.
I don't think
You
they're
know,
in college,
wife
but
got a
They're in
job.
their teens. So yeah, he definitely. Anyway, so
But
yeah.
it's just this
For
is
some
fascinating.
reason.
I want to hear more from Dennis. Like, why
He could
did you
probably write him a
stop?
letter. I'm sure he corresponds with anybody that's writing him a letter.
That's why we need a Patreon
he probably
to charge people for fucking shit like that. That's gold. I guarantee he gets fan mail all the time. He's got nothing to do. He's in permanent isolation, so of course he's going to write back.
There's probably people that do nothing but write letters to people like this, and probably have a whole group of those letters. Or
Right.
you know what I'm saying? We
Right.
look into that. That's
I
probably
think we do that. I think we
pretty
do
weird.
that.
That's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, they might have a whole bunch of stuff on old Dennis.
But yeah, why? So it's either they're afraid of getting caught, or they age out of it.
I think it's a combination, probably of those. He's aging out of it.
Mhm.
First of all, 13 years from 90. What was it? 91.
91.
From 91 until what, in the 2000s, he's definitely aging out. But by that point, he's got to be in his late 50s, early 60s.
So yeah, he's almost 50. So in March 2004. By the way,
No, I'm saying during this time, he's getting older and older. So it's not as much. Let's face it. Look, let's say after in your late 40s, like your sexual desires are not nearly what they were in your 20s and 30s.
God, I hope I get there soon. Anyways, this is fucking destroying my life. You're right. Sure, that's true. And right, if this is all driven by sexuality,
Well, he definitely. Did you watch the?
because this is all orgasmic. Like, I don't want to get gross here, but like,
but it is.
this is a buildup and a release.
So when they're questioning him during his during, I don't know if it was sentencing, because he knew what he was getting, but when he goes to court and he has to admit to everything he was doing, right? So
Yeah.
he's admitting it, and they were asking him. I don't know if it was a judge that was asking him questions or was it the prosecutor, but he's like, yeah, and then I killed her, and they go, and then what'd you do? He said, well, then I masturbated. He said I had a sexual fantasy and I masturbated. And this was constantly the whole time he's talking, and they were like, and why did you pick her? He goes, it was a sexual fantasy. He said, all of this is based on just sexual fantasy.
Right.
He said so every single time he was doing it to fulfill some kind of a sexual fantasy.
Right.
So it's all sexual based.
Right. So you're right. Okay. Then that could explain a lot of it. It's like, hey, I have some sexual diminution. I'm 46 now. It's getting harder to get away with it,
Mhm.
right? Because we know about all kinds of DNA evidence, and he wants to stay out. And I could just go throw myself some motel parties and wear my panties and jerk off. And he's got enough in the spank bank too now to where he can just keep kind of rocking and not have to kill people
And the
anymore.
desire's not as probably is it's probably I don't know, whatever.
Diminution, that was the purpose of that word.
I didn't know what that word meant.
Yeah, it just means like, you sexual, it's decreased.
Decreasing. He is sexual decreasing. That's better.
So he would have gotten away with this shit.
I think you made that word up. Is
Can
that
we
really a
look
word?
that? Well, but remember you challenged me on the shit where you eat and
I don't
look.
care. There's no money on the
You
table.
face planted. You face
We're not-
planted.
What?
We're not.
Diminution. This is all staying in.
It's fine.
Now, would he diminution means a reduction, decrease, or lessening in size, value, or importance. Boom. There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, do you think? I mean, of course, he would have got away with this shit because they have his dry jizz now. So it's 2004.
It's going to catch up to him eventually.
No, because unless he gets arrested,
No.
how would they have got him if he had never given over his DNA?
His daughter gives the DNA. The kids give the DNA. His brother-in-law or anybody that's connected to him. Some of these people are giving DNA that are 7 and 8 generations or 7 or 8 different whatever you want to call them, legs or branches away. Some of these people are like, you got like a cousin.
Okay. So if his
giving
DNA,
DNA, it's like,
so if Dennis Rader's daughter, if
not even the daughter.
Okay,
it could be his brother or his cousin or anybody that has DNA similar to him.
In 2012, his Dennis Rader's got a cousin who goes and does
that's more recently. But these are the ones. Let's say late teens. This has been possible since let's say okay.
Let's say late teens in 2016.
Yes,
Dennis Rader's first cousin says, you know what? I want to see where my family, where my ancestors come from.
It goes in the system.
And he does 23andMe. He submits his DNA.
Yeah.
They've got Dennis Rader's cum from 1990, 1973, 74.
Right.
They could match that.
Absolutely.
Automatically match it?
No, the cops would probably.
Or would they have to be looking for it?
They'd have to be looking for it, but that's what's happening. There's a whole TV show right now based on in the last 2 or 3 years. There's a company that the police are going to and are saying, "Hey, we have DNA from 25 years ago or 30 years ago," and matter of fact, they were at CrimeCon. Remember the people in CrimeCon? Remember they had the really big. I said, I just watched a TV show about them last night.
Yeah.
So, and what they're doing is they're going to these public data because anytime you give your saliva to one of these databases, you're automatically entering yourself into this system. So they will go and they will get a sample. So they'll get a sample from a homicide from 15 or 20 or 30 or 45 years ago. Matter of fact, I'll tell you one of them right now is the kind of like the Golden State Killer.
Right.
Or and there's a lot more that are even more recent where the guy never did anything, but they track him all the way down from one of his like a second cousin or a third cousin went into the database.
Okay, but right. That's incredible.
This is what the woman said. She said with 3% of a society, she said that if 3% of the world population enters into these systems, I can find anybody. We need 3% of people.
Wow.
She said in the United States, she said we're there already, and she said we're almost there in Europe. She said we're literally. And when I saw this program, which was a few months ago, she said we're within a few months of being at 3% of the European society.
You mean find any cold case? Like any? Are you talking about specifically about cold cases?
Yeah, she can track your DNA,
right?
Anybody's DNA, whether they've entered the system or not, just because of the amount of DNA that a population has had, because that's how intermingled our DNA is with everyone.
Okay, so, but they would have to be looking for, like, the police. Okay, so Dennis Rader's cousin in this theoretical situation in 2018, like, submits his DNA for 23andMe, right? The police would have to find that. They would have to know to look to try to match that DNA to Dennis Rader's cum.
The sample,
right?
And say, hey, can you track who this person is? And then they say, okay, based on this sample, and then they can track them all the way through the system. They go, it's the child of these two parents. They had 4 children. These these two guys are dead. This was a woman.
Mhm.
This is the guys. It's a man. It's him.
Okay.
And it's literally, if you watch the thing, it's fucking amazing.
Right.
Because then they'll go and they'll just watch the guy for fucking 4 days. And when he goes and throws out a fucking beer can or something, they scoop it up
and just
and they
match it.
and go, whoa, definitely him.
Yeah.
Like
Right. But there was no suspecting Dennis, man.
no.
There was no, if Dennis hadn't basically turned himself in, as we're about to hear how he gets caught. If he hadn't snitched on himself, dude, we might never be doing a podcast episode about him. Don't you think? I think he would have got away
If
with
he
it.
hadn't had the communication with the, if he hadn't been trying to communicate with the authorities as a result of his book, because
Yeah.
that's how this kind of happens, is they do that. What'd you say, the 40th?
Yes. Yes. It's the 40th anniversary. Now it's March 2004. After 13 years of nada, silence. Okay. It's the 40th anniversary of the first BTK killing.
The Oteros, right?
Yes. The Otero
So in
murders.
the local newspaper.
Yeah, that's right.
The Gazette. I'm sure. I don't know if
It's
the
the
Gazette.
Wichita Eagle.
Is it? Oh,
Actually, the Gazette's a good call though. It's either the Eagle or the Gazette.
Yeah.
Always. A letter arrives at the Wichita Eagle containing a photocopy of Vicki Wegerle's stolen driver's license and photos of her body. Okay, Vicki Wegerle is a case from the 80s.
Right.
Now, yes, at this time, the 40th anniversary, a local crime junkie, just a local citizen of Wichita, who's lived through all these years of murders, is getting ready to write a book about the BTK killings.
Right. So he hears about it. Dennis reads this newspaper article on the 40th anniversary of the first murder by BTK. And in the article, they talk about how there's a local person who's about to start or is working on a true crime book about BTK, and he's upset. You would think he'd be like, nice.
Yeah.
But he's upset about it.
He wants people to know.
He wants to be able to
I want to
be
have
involved.
I want to have first right of first refusal.
No.
I want to have an editor's pass on this.
Right. He wants to have editorial
Control.
Yeah. So he contacts the local police or the newspaper.
He first sends it into the paper. Sends a photocopy of Vicki Wegerle's stolen driver's license, and then he starts sending all different kinds of clues. Like he goes crazy, right? Again, his ego,
Right.
man's ego. He's taunting the press, often using cereal boxes to hold drawings, writings, and mementos. Proof that I'm still alive. And you want to write a book that's accurate, you got to go through me, basically. He makes a critical mistake. Rader asks police through a note whether a floppy disk could be traced back to him if he sent one. He asked that through a note. If you remember floppy disks, right? The 90s and early 2000s. Police answered through a classified newspaper ad, falsely assuring him that it would be safe. That's crazy.
That's crazy. The cops can lie to you?
Yeah.
No. That's not true.
No.
The police would never mislead a suspect ever. Anything they say is always accurate.
Bro,
they're not allowed to mislead you.
Literally, when I'm watching a documentary, a cop says that. He's like, the police are not allowed to lie to you. I'm like, you are lying to me right now, sir. You are gaslighting me. Not only they're allowed to, they're mandated to do it.
Yeah.
Except if you're chasing a serial killer. I'm like, I'm sure that's not in the books, you dumb cop. Anyways, so Rader stupidly mails them back a floppy disk, which was traced to the church where he served as council president, right? Back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. This led directly to matching his DNA to semen recovered from the original 1974 Otero crime scene.
Well, they get the disc, and when they check the disc, do their forensic, computer analysis, whatever. They basically see that it had been sold to the local. What church is it? They're like a Presbyterian or something, like the local Presbyterian church. And they see that the last person that saved on the disc was a guy named Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go onto the website and they check the local Presbyterian church. And sure enough, the president is Dennis Rader.
Mm-hmm.
They look at him and they go, ooh, that's him. And so at that point, that's when they go and don't they get his DNA first? Like they follow him and get DNA. Do they get DNA?
Yeah.
No. I know what they do.
They
I
followed
forget.
him to the Home Depot.
No. No. They go to they figure out somehow they go to the local, they follow his daughter to the local hospital or medical place.
Yes.
And she had and I'm going to say this, I don't know what it is. It's not like a pap smear. She had some kind of a smear done, right? Like a girly thing. And they go, we need that. Can we get that? And they took it and so sick.
Yeah.
Anyways,
He's guilty.
so they take it and they stick it in a little tube and they check it with, and they do a thing and they say, absolutely, the semen came from someone who is related to this person.
Right.
And that's it. And now they got him. And then they follow him. They follow him home one day.
Yeah, that's right. But what about something that Home Depot had some part to play in this? I don't know what it was.
I don't know, but I know he's going home. I want to say he went home from work or church. He's on his way home to have lunch with his wife.
Ever a faithful husband.
He's a good husband.
Ever
He really
a faithful
He's been married
husband.
this whole time. I mean, and think about it. If you asked his wife, she'd be like, listen, other than the times he came home, he was tied up. He's tied up.
We hit a couple of rough patches, but we worked through it.
Sweetie, what are you doing? Can you get this?
Baby, I'm stuck.
Walks over and grabs him by the hair of his chest. Told you to stop this.
Okay.
Not the nipple hair. So anyway, they pull him over and they say, hey, Dennis, hop out of the car. And they arrest him and put the cuffs on him. And
Put the cuffs on him.
you know what he says? He says, can you have somebody go to my house and let my wife know I will not be coming home for lunch?
Oh,
Right?
I want that kind of love.
Romantic.
Hey, does this even exist anymore? This kind of love?
No. And if I told that to Jess, she would say, see, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, nice.
Like, why can't you be thoughtful like that?
Dude, women would literally rather have you come home for lunch to take them out and you be a serial killer than, God forbid, you have some guy time and you just pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
That's where I'm at.
Bro, I don't want to be, I don't want to get more DMs from middle-aged women saying that I don't respect them. Yeah. So we're just going to leave it at that. Dennis had some good qualities and that's just what it is. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. Come on.
All right.
Man,
So
we're
he's officially arrested and arraigned February 2005.
We do need to check what the female to male ratio is now, because I haven't checked in a month or two.
I'm scared to look. I think we've digressed a little bit. Or we've regressed a little bit. But anyways, confesses quickly to all 10 murders.
Yeah.
Right now they think years later he's locked up in the box.
Did you see the interview with him? Where he's like, anyway, they said, well, we've got your DNA, we got this, we got that, and he goes, any way to beat the DNA? And they go, no. He's still thinking these guys are gonna answer the questions.
I love
correctly.
it. He's so trusting of law enforcement. He loves it.
Yes.
First, hey, can you guys trace it if I send in a floppy disk? No? Great.
Yeah.
Hey, can you beat this DNA thing?
What are my chances of
He is so matter of fact. He's like, yeah, when I did her, I thought she was dead. I was scared out of my mind that I was going to get arrested. Like he's so he's just so basic. He's just a basic Midwest mouth breather.
At one point he goes, can you explain that? He goes, yeah. He said, that was complicated. That's a little complicated. He goes, hold on a second. Let me think about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what happened was when I first went in, and he's just like, you're like, this is just a normal goofball. Like this is he's a fly. He's paint drying on a wall. I love that.
That's why
his friends growing up were like, he was never exceptional. He wasn't bad, but he was never exceptional at anything. He was just kind of there.
I never wanted to be that guy.
No.
You remember that kid who was just, you're like, you're not good or bad, negative or positive. You're just taking up space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he went on to become something. Again, man and his ego. He wants to
He wanted to leave his mark. He
wants to
definitely
leave-
left his mark.
Oh, he left.
People will be when
He
you
left
list
some marks.
Yeah,
That's how he got caught.
when you list serial killers from here on out, he will always be. He's up there. He's like probably top 10.
I think he's definitely top 10. And it just, again, the fact that he doesn't really make the top 5 list. When you talk about most famous serial killers, again, it's the Bundys, the Dahmers, et cetera, right? Gacy, of course. But BTK this guy is it. And what's so crazy is like, I'm watching these documentaries and the cops are like, we finally did it. You didn't do shit. You barely, he got the ball right up to the goal line and you just tapped it in. He turned himself in, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, if he had a little bit less ego, and just didn't want to be a part of his book, then he could have just I don't know if he could have ridden it out, because honestly, at some point in the future, somebody that connected to him would have entered in the database, and they would have, at some point, would have said, hey, let's go ahead. Let's see if the database has been updated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's re-put this guy's DNA in it. Well, once they have the profile, they can just keep checking it periodically. I don't know if it automatically does it. I think they have to go back and ask. But let's face it, if they did that every 5 years, at some point they're going to come back and say, whoa.
Maybe they could have isolated, okay, the killer is this age. Let's take every guy in Wichita who's still alive.
They're already
put
doing
them
that
in a block and let's just run this DNA.
But at this time they weren't. They are now.
Yeah.
Now they can practically they're at a point where damn if they're not close.
Right.
Have you seen these facial like they can tell like everything, the length of your nose, the color of your eyes, your eyebrows. Does he have this? As kind of forehead? Like it's fucking insane how accurate some of the photographs or that the composites that they can come up with based on your DNA and what the real person looks like.
So Rader, I mean, he is sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms. They didn't reinstate the death penalty in Kansas until 1994. So all of his murders were before that. So he was not eligible to be executed. He's got a minimum of 175 years, and he's currently at the El Dorado Correctional Facility.
So one of the things I saw recently of a recent documentary is that they believe that there's another murder that he's responsible to, which is odd to me because it doesn't seem like he was holding back. Like, why wouldn't he admit to that?
Well, you would hold it back because you still want people to talk about you. Right. Well, like if you copped all your murders, the book's kind of closed on you, right?
You're just doing your time. This is a way for him to come back, get some Burger King, maybe get a McDonald's.
And it's to get this like pretty,
stay relevant.
Yeah, the lady, she's like a true crime documentarian.
Yeah.
Some weird blonde lady, morbid. It's a way to get her coming back. It's a way to talk to people, like, oh yeah, I might have had a few more. I would do it. Yeah. So it's certainly possible.
What do you think?
I don't really believe it.
What do you think he does when they come in and they lay it all out and he goes,
oh,
totally forgot about her.
Wow.
Jennifer.
Getting
you know what
old.
bothered me? When he's doing his kind of, what is it, like an allocution? What is it when he's talking, when he's telling everybody?
Yeah.
It's just weird. But he's calling like the children like by their names. Well, that's when Bobby did this or that. Well, Jennifer, that really, it's like, it's
so familiar.
It is very, that's when Jennifer came into the room and little Susie was, and it was just like,
how does he know their names? I guess because he remembers them from the press, because it's all over the news.
Probably, and it's been in all of his discovery. And keep in mind, for him, that's a thrill.
Yeah,
to read these things about himself. So he's got to know each one. But yeah, it's disturbing in general, and his, like you said, the familiarity of him and the victims. It's disturbing to watch him. And it was 2 days of court with the victims' families there.
Yeah.
And he's basically being questioned in open court about each murder. And he is, without getting too gruesome, he's pretty
candid.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, detail by detail. Yeah. It takes a full 2 10-hour days.
Yeah.
In court.
It's people are there fucking crying. And of course they get up too and they say their piece, but it always kills me when they're like, I want you to, I hope you, well, one, the suffering, okay, but it's the, I hope you feel horrible. And I like anytime they say like, I hope you feel this or you.
Oh, you don't know anything about
like,
what's going on in my mind.
Right.
I explained to you.
Yeah.
Like I have two personality, the darkness.
Yeah. He
it
has
feels nothing.
he doesn't feel bad. He doesn't,
Yeah.
He's so.
He feels bad that he got caught maybe because his wife and kids, right?
The wife divorced him immediately. As soon as he got arrested, like the next day or something.
So he must feel bad that he got caught, but I don't know. The guy had a hell of a run. That's what we're naming this. That's the name of the movie is Hell of a Run.
You think they'll
the
ever
Dennis Rader story.
Do you think they'll ever find that last murder that they say that he maybe did? Do you think he'll ever confess to it?
Well, I think there's something that connects him to it. Like I believe there was DNA. I mean, you're saying I don't believe it, but I wish I had paid more attention, but he wasn't charged with it yet. So they were still saying, but there was a definite connection there. I want to say maybe it was DNA. It was something that connected him to the house, which was a distance away. And so, but like I said, it's odd that he wouldn't have taken credit for it. But maybe you're right. Maybe there's a reason he didn't. He's holding out.
Yeah. Wow. What a life. The life and times. One of the greatest. One of the most requested. Guys, we're here for you on this show. We are here for you. Check us out on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. We get a 5-star review and a comment. Subscribe to this here fair channel.
And a like on YouTube and share the videos.
Please share them.
Yeah,
share them.
That helps.
We're getting a lot of good feedback.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
We know you will. See you next time.
See ya.